All right. Hey YouTube, I'm Lucky, and in today's video, we're going to be talking about the Trials of the Nine Sniper, the Long Walk, returning with Season 15 into Destiny 2. Now, this is something that a lot of people have been looking for, but we didn't know until now what the exact perk pool was going to be like, and that is what is especially important. For example, if this weapon just didn't have Snapshot on it, which it does, thankfully, if it didn't have Snapshot on it, though, it would definitely be much less viable as being like the meta weapon or a weapon that you absolutely need to seek after and chase this season. And that's what I wanted to cover in a variety of videos, and you're going to see a bunch of videos on this channel coming out every few hours because I want to cover the absolute must-have weapons of season 15, and this sniper is 1000% one of them. You'll need to get the long walk sniper, and here I'll explain why. First up, we have the stats for this weapon. So we've got a 72 RPM, we've got 90 impact, 80 range, 28 stability, 35 handling, reload speed, aim assistance 48, inventory size 41, 50 zoom, which is really important. The zoom, you don't want to have too much zoom on a sniper. You want it to be zoomed out. If you do have a lot of zoom, it can be a little bit more helpful for like if you're using a controller and doing controller sniping, but typically, even with controllers, it tends to feel a little bit better and easier to hit those shots with the lower zoom. So that's what you're going for the most part. 76 recoil, 24 bounce intensity, and then bounce direction is 10s right. So let's talk about first the PvP role, and then we can talk a little bit about there's some potential for this thing in PvE as well. So the PvP role is of course going to start off with Snapshot right here. You got to have Snapshot for this. There are a few other perks that could be decent in here, but ultimately Snapshot is going to be the best one. You need to ADS fast, especially with Sniper Flinch in the game. And along with this, it's actually pretty exciting that you could have like something like Slide Shot. So that way you can, it will increase range, stability. This will make the shots a little more crispy, and you won't have to reload the weapon. I always like using Slide Shot personally. Outlaw's not going to be too bad because if you hit that headshot, you can reload really fast if necessary. Clown Cartridge, not necessary at all in PvP. Killing Wind's not too bad of a perk in PvP. And Overflow is definitely not something you're really looking for too often in PvP. But it isn't the worst ever, necessarily. Ensemble says this is a new perk we have here, which is improved handling and reload speed when allies are nearby. All right, you're not going to really be doing that too much in PvP, but there is some definitely good synergy between Fire and Line and that perk, and we'll talk about that in just a minute. So, in my opinion, the PvP God role, the role that I would be looking for, is something that's super unique on this. You have the Snapshot, the Slide Shot. That would be really cool and really fun. That would definitely make it nice, and I feel like that's probably the role you're going to look for. In terms of magazine, we can just go for like reload here and probably as much handling as possible here. But ultimately, those things aren't nearly as important as the big perks, just as long as you get a Snapshot roll. Right now, it seems to be bugged in the Prophecy dungeon, so keep that in mind. You're not going to be able to get this weapon in Prophecy, but some of you have it so that it actually does work properly. So if you can get it to drop, definitely farm for it. That's all you have to do is just get Prophecy completions. Now let's talk a little bit about a PvE God roll. So in this slot right here, definitely the two best PvE perks are going to be Firing Line and Frenzy. And the best synergy for Firing Line would probably be this Ensemble perk, even though I haven't really used this much. It says improved handling and reload speed when allies are nearby. That's going to be really nice. You're going to reload really fast, and you get increased damage when allies are nearby. So, you're chilling next to your teammates, and those two will proc together really well. Along with Firing Line, Overflow is always a great option. You get tons in the magazine. Killing Wind's not necessary for PvE. Clown Cartridge is great in PvE. Outlaw, not so necessary. We're not going to be using this weapon to clear ads a ton, so you don't really need Outlaw. And Slide Shot is actually really good in PvE, as we found out last season with Slide Shot grenade launchers. You could probably have a similar effect with this, where you could be sliding around and constantly just hitting people. Now, obviously, Slide Shot is not going to pair well with Firing Line, so instead, I would probably want Slide Shot and Frenzy as a PvE role if you're going with that route. And then you could just keep Frenzy procced and just keep sliding around like crazy. You would never have to reload this weapon. You just keep lighting up champions, majors, the boss, whatever it is that you're shooting with this weapon, right? Slide Shot and Frenzy would actually be a really nasty roll. Now, obviously, for PvE, we're going to probably go the magazine route. We want to get as much in the magazine as possible so we can shoot as many shots as possible. Even if you do have Slide Shot, sometimes the Slide Shot, you slide once and it procs. The second time it doesn't proc, and then the third time it does. So you can sometimes fire the weapon a little bit at a faster rate than Slide Shot can recover those bullets. So we're definitely going with as big a magazine as possible. And for the Masterwork, probably go with like a reload Masterwork if you can possibly get that God roll out there. But that is it for this weapon. This is a must-have weapon for Season 15. The Long Walk is so good. Was an amazing, very notable sniper in Destiny 2 Year 1, and is now returned here in Season 15, Destiny 2, and definitely worth getting and chasing after. So best of luck to you out there. I'll make sure to keep you updated when the Prophecy Dungeon loot does get fixed, so that way you can get this if you haven't already been fortunate enough to get this to drop for you. So make sure to subscribe with notifications on if you want to get that video and get that news. Smash the like button. I'll see you in the next one. Thanks for watching. Later.